tailoredcreations.us. No apostrophe.
No apostrophe.
There's more than meets the apostrophe.
There's more than meets the apostrophe.
Doing a lot of side work, do a little bit of remodeling here and there. So, yeah, it was paycheck to paycheck forever. But it was December, and we were 2 months late on our van payment. It was about to get repoed. I would never get my old job back.
And they said an angel said to give this to you.
There's no way this wasn't a God thing.
We aren't just a video production company, we are business solution driven creatives. And this is More Than Meets the Eye.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Than Meets the Eye podcast, where we talk about what's behind a person, a practice, or a product, especially when it comes to marketing, because we are business solution driven creatives. I'm Jared Taylor, and I've got my coffee. Welcome to JT Visuals, and that's without the eye because there's more than meets the eye. Okay, so this one it has to trump Grandma and Grandpa's episode. Actually, it's not about comparing, but I got my parents here this time. And if you're listening, you might want to hop over to YouTube on this one because we're probably going to be rolling eyes and laughing things that you won't catch on the audio. But I get it if you're listening to the audio version. So I got my mom, Leslie Taylor, here, and my dad, David Taylor. If you were to give a bird's eye view of like who you are and what you do, how would you say that? Dad, let's start with you.
Who I am? Well, I'm Dave Taylor. I'm Jared's dad.
And Mom?
And I'm Leslie Taylor, Jared's mom, and also Grandma.
There you go.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but what if you didn't have to hunt for your next client? What if there's a way that you could spend less than 3 hours per month, even as a busy entrepreneur, and start attracting your ideal clients so that they come to you rather than you have to always go to them? You could be the best of your industry, but we want to make you the best known. And you can get started on this for free on our website. Go to jtvisuals.com and look for our ideal client profile generator. We've trained AI to come up with who you should reach out to and who you need to become to be that go-to expert of your industry and city. So what are you waiting for? Go to jtvisuals.com. That's jtvsuals.com, jtvsuals.com, and get started today.
Well, there's so much to my character that wouldn't be part of my character if it wasn't for you guys. And I say that in the most obvious way possible, like without you, I wouldn't be here. But I also say that in a really good sense because being one of 6 and counting mom and dad, there's a family of 8. It's kind of rare these days, especially with the same parents too. If anybody for context, I was the first middle child because there's no middle with 6.
Right.
So, number 3.
3, but the second guy, Jessica being the second one, and she has actually done some clips for us before in the past. So kudos. Shout out, Jess, what up? And then Jonathan was on this podcast too. Yes. And he's the oldest. Mm-hmm. So we're making our way around the family to see what's going on and how does it relate? How can we help people with their marketing, or what's the story behind you as a person? We're all just here to make the world a better place through this podcast because there's a lot of bad social media out there for the most part. Oh, you're on social media. Oh, you're spending all this time on social media. But it's like, what if it's all good stuff? Or like, what if you run into them that way? It can really help. And it's extremely good for businesses because if people haven't heard of you, they're not going to ever book with you. You could have the most amazing thing and no one buys from you. And you could sit there and be like, why didn't they buy from me? It's because you haven't told anybody. So it's very important. But I say that to say I would like to see and hear make public. I know a lot of your story. There's actually parts maybe I can discover without it, like that I probably had no idea. I took Grandma and Grandpa this way, and I want to take you guys that way. Is how did you meet?
At church.
Yes.
So back in the day, this might have a little bit to do with how you like social media, not necessarily social media, but movies, things like that. I loved movies. So I always went to movies. I mean, when I was a kid, in the little town of Pleasant Hill, the Big Creek Country Show that's there now was a movie theater. I went when I was a real young teenager every Friday night, didn't matter what was showing.
Oh.
And
didn't
so
know that.
I rode my bike to that movie theater and watched whatever movie was playing. Sometimes that wasn't a good idea, but they let me in anyway because they knew me. I was there every week. So when someone from the local church there put a poster in the high school that they were showing a movie at the church on Friday night or whatever night it was, I'm all in. So I went down to the movie, and we were pretty young. I was barely fit, well, about 15. She was only about 12 years old,
really?
but she looked pretty good. And so that's the first time I saw her. For me, it was love at first sight. For her, it took a lot of praying, a lot of talking, and a lot of years, and then she finally came around. But
See, so you're good at sales.
yeah, so that's
The best sale ever.
that's basically how we met. A few days later, after that movie, they invited all the teenagers to it was around Halloween time, so everyone was going to these haunted trail things, and they had a Christian one up north. They hauled us all on a bus, took us up, and we went there. So that's basically how we met. So it was all history from there. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your side of it? Like, do you
it's
tell
a
it the
lot
same?
different.
Well, I remember when he first started coming to church and everything, and I think that movie was it called Burning Hell?
Grim Reaper, I think.
Oh, the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
I didn't remember.
You were watching
I
horror
think
films?
when we-
Yeah.
No, I think I volunteered to help with the kids in the nursery because I don't like scary movies. Still don't. So
Yeah.
You were sitting 2 rows in front of me.
I was.
Yes. You had the
He
real
remembers
long
better
hair.
than me,
You had
I
the
guess.
real long blonde hair.
yeah, and you had the long black hair,
Yeah, I had really long black
wavy.
And what's funny is like I hear that and you say long black hair. Now I want to make a parody of
hair. Yeah.
the long black
There's
train
some
song.
long black hair.
But it's because my dad sings and he sings bass all the time, and people at that place,
Yeah,
Big Creek,
That Big Creek Country Show, yeah.
became the country show, and you would sing there, and everyone's always like, "Sing Long Black Train,
Yeah,
sing Long Black
every
Train."
time.
Yeah.
But so, what about the theater though? Like when you saw him or whatever, like
The
What was it?
theater?
Yeah.
I didn't see him at the theater.
This
it
was
was
at
at
the church.
church.
They showed the movie at church.
Showed a movie. Yeah.
I got that wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I listen to this back, I'll be like, Jared, what?
I went to the theater every weekend as a kid, but because I like movies. But they put the poster in the high school to come to the church to watch a movie.
Yeah.
So it was a
It was an
ministry
event,
outreach type
a youth
thing.
event.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
then I think, if I remember right, when he was saying that we went to that event, was that at,
It was up north somewhere. I don't remember.
oh, okay. I'm not thinking of the same thing then.
It was up
Okay.
north. And they had a guy in a coffin up front, and they preached for a little bit, and then the guy reached his hand out of the coffin. It was like a dead body, but
Yeah.
everyone circled the coffin and looked at the dead body, and then he reached his hand out, and everyone just scattered on the floor. Thought I was going to get trampled.
Some really cool youth events.
Yeah,
back
it was
then.
cool.
yeah. Now it's like dodgeball. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Actually, they don't even do dodgeball.
Well,
Like I grew up on
can't do
dodgeball.
that. Can't do that anymore. Someone will get
Someone will get offended.
hurt. Yeah.
You targeted me. No, I don't know.
We became really good friends
Yep.
and like best friends pretty much. But I had probably at least 2 boyfriends from meeting
Yeah.
him
Oh.
before I dated him.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. But we were good friends. And I always sat by him at church.
I'm more like
and
Dad than I know.
We hung out. Yeah. But I had a boyfriend. So
Well, because it was the same story for me and Rose.
Mm-hmm.
So you crossed that friend line.
yeah, he did. He actually wrote me a note and said if I ever go crazy in the head and quit liking my boyfriend then to let him know. And I actually did.
That's what made you go crazy in the head.
Yeah, I'm still going crazy in the head.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny.
All crazy in the head.
Well, so like now let's like dig into the creativity side because I know I've got it from both of you, but it's all kind of different. So definitely like movies would be from Dad probably more. And
Unless it's Hallmark or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, true.
The more
true.
cheesy movies,
Yeah. Yeah.
those are from me.
Which that was always my secret, my secret guilty pleasure or whatever was actually like I somewhat enjoyed, sorry, I'm public now, so I got to tone it down. Enjoyed time watching cheesy romance Hallmark movies with my mom.
Yeah, you did a few.
Well,
Special for my birthday or something.
I kind of got to a point where I was like, yeah, it's really cheesy and stuff, but like I like filmmaking, and so I started respecting how they would do it. And usually in those movies, like the script writing was very cheesy, but they would actually do pretty good lighting. And so I would look at it from different angles, and I would check if this is going to resolve later. So I kind of liked it for the research part of things.
Well,
So-
if we're confessing things, a lot of times in the work environment, you would have meetings and kind of a get to know people type scenario would be tell us something about you that nobody knows. And there was a couple times that when that came up, mine was, well, sometimes I actually tear up during Little House on the Prairie. So that was something most people didn't know.
Well, that was a good one. That probably stands up today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well-
I base a good movie on how much I cry. So
Oh yeah. Well, I like all of it. Like I gotta laugh, I gotta cry. It's gotta be cool. There's gotta
I do
be
too.
not passive characters. I don't like passive characters. So like, I struggled with Rogue One a little bit because they're the main
Yeah.
character is passive. Everything happens to that character, and then they're reactive. Versus like, I'm on a mission. I have a desire for something. I'm gonna go after it and pursue something. Even in pursuit, you could be knocked down and stuff, but. So I'm thinking of The Pursuit of Happiness too is a good movie because he's always trying to get to something,
that one.
even though he gets set back. So it's not about accomplishing it; it's just about trying. Those are the kind of movies I like. So I like Darth Vader when it was at Rogue One, even though he's the bad guy, but it's because he was the character that actually wanted something. He was going after the plans to steal it. Anyways. What?
She don't know anything about any of that.
Yeah, she's like, Star Wars. So I got Star Wars and Lord of the Rings from
that's from Dad.
Dad, but we were also anti Harry Potter.
Yeah, we were.
But then I watched it when I was older, and I was like, why were we not allowed? I don't know. You probably still haven't seen it to this day, but it's
No,
more
I
of a
haven't.
family movie than Star Wars is.
Yeah. I don't watch Star Wars either.
Anyways, though, so fast forward through a lot of things, and then I'm there in my childhood and how I was growing up that I want to point out to you guys. I don't know if I've ever pointed it out, is Dad always having those cameras, and it wasn't just for home videos, but we would go steal it, and usually I was the one that was the camera operator. Caleb got to a point when he would do that, but then we would have fun, and we made Star Wars Episode 7 before Disney bought it and made Star Wars Episode 7, so
Yeah. Yeah.
where's our money? No, I'm kidding. The IP, intellectual property. So that joke
The good
doesn't even
thing
work.
about having 6 kids. You got your whole
Yeah.
crew and
Yep. So sports, making movies, like
Yep.
whatever it was, we could do it. Social media and brain rot stuff wasn't as much a thing, but TV was a thing, and
Yeah.
it stole your attention, which is kind of the same
and
thing.
you
can have
did
brain
play
rot.
video games. You guys had video games.
We played video games, but I will say this, is while that is a huge waste of time for a lot of people, and it's looked on as a negative, it brought up so much quality time with other people, though. So
Yeah.
now to this day with video games, I don't like it if it's one-player games or if I'm in it for I don't know, maybe a good story could be good, but it's not me.
The
I
only
like
time-
it for spending time with other
The
people.
only time that's good is if you're just alone all the time, which isn't good for you anyway. But I made it a point when I had the video games, when I bought a game, I always looked for 4-player games.
Oh, did you?
Yes,
Okay.
every time.
Well,
Because
that makes sense.
I didn't want one person just sitting there. I wanted all of us sitting
Yeah.
there, or several of us at least, and as many that could participate as possible.
Yeah.
So I was the same way. Multiplayer was the best way.
Well, that
because
rubbed
you had
off
other
on me.
people. Yeah.
Because now you can like create purpose out of anything. And video games could be a tool that brings certain groups of people around. And if you actually chat, then it's good. And I found myself chatting more on video games than other things that people would say is healthy. So I don't know.
And that was all before the online stuff, because now you can do online with people. It's not the same as being together, but it's still you're conversing.
But Mom, we don't have a Sega.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Everything was a Sega.
Yeah.
But it was always fun when you would hold a controller and start playing. We're like, Mom's playing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I'd be like recording stuff and we would be having fun. And there were some early talks of, I could see him doing that. Like when they get older, they're going to make movies and things like that. And they were partially right. But I remember one of the first things you taught me was special effect.
Oh, yeah.
You taught all of us, really. And it was those VHS cameras where you can pause it or rewind if you have to. And then when you hit record again, it'll show up just right then and there. It's not like nowadays where everything's a separate clip and you have to go and edit. The edit was like in camera by rewinding and stuff or hitting pause. So if you're on a tripod or hold absolutely still, you could be in a shot and then you would, I'm going to make myself disappear. And you would clap like 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you freeze and you wait for Dad to say, all right, now move, you know, and then we'd move and then we'd go back in and he's like, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. And then he hits record and then we go and we're out of it. And then we'd be like, where'd he go? Where'd you go? But it was always funny because while it would look kind of cool back then, the main person would disappear, but in the background,
Everyone else
there was a
was still
kid
there.
crawling
Yeah.
around or someone, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because there was always a kid crawling.
You see the clock jump forward or whatever.
Yeah, we weren't that good at it, but it was fun.
But you created fun around it, and that like instilled in me to be creative in those kind of ways. And then Mom, I had no idea, well, and Dad, but I was thinking about this, and I guess technically for the entrepreneurship side of me, you both were still involved there because we started Tailor-Made Creations video or whatever.
I know.
And we did one wedding for free and then stopped.
Right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
But yeah, we would do some things. And you always had some sort of side gig you were doing.
yeah.
Something.
And then Mom, I just realized, like, I think it was 2 years ago, I was like, dang, you were a hustler. The thing that you would do for Christmas gifts, you know? We're shooting this in the time right before Christmas, but by the time it airs, I think it'll be after. But you would do like bread dough and like you would craft things and then go and sell it at like
Craft shows.
one of the craft shows in the mall and things like that. And I didn't realize till this day. It's like that's what you would use to create extra income for good
that
presents.
was always for our Christmas.
And I always thought Dad made a lot of money because one time I saw like your pay stub in the car when I was older. It's like, that's a lot of money. But then I was like, wait, but we're like a family of 8 and we eat and eat and eat. And like,
It wasn't a
It
lot.
wasn't
of
a
money.
lot of money.
we break a lot of things. And so it was like the cost of living was higher. So then when you were empty nesters, you're probably like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Now we
Anyways.
have money because we're empty nesters.
But then you spend it all
More
on
than we had.
brisket.
Yeah,
Brisket
brisket,
and grandkids.
grandkids.
Yeah, the grandkids. Well, they say if you raise your kids, you get to spoil your grandkids.
Yeah.
But if you spoil your kids, you're going to have to raise your grandkids. But I think you did the first one because our grandkids are spoiled. You send them home with slime, but whatever.
I
Like,
haven't done that
you
for
get-
a while.
But you get to be you. We get to do whatever we want
Yeah.
with it after.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
our
grandmas
right.
have privileges.
As long as they don't play with it at our house, it's fine to give them slime.
But anyways, all of that to say, like, thank you. And then also, like, what's your perspective during those times of, like, making the bread dough or the crafts and the side jobs, the roofing. I did roofing with my dad for a little bit, you know, to make money for camp. And, like, the fact that you didn't just give us money. We had an allowance one time.
It
2
didn't
cents
last.
per sock or something like that. That you
Didn't
fold.
last. You guys didn't care.
I liked it. I was like, how's my account? And we would ask that at a garage sale. We go garage selling all the time. How much money do I have in my account, Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$5. Wow.
I don't think we made it a year doing that though.
But it was memorable for me.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what was your perspective and like just the hard work?
That was something I knew I could do and still be home with the kids, and it was using my creativity to try to make all the little figurines, or I would do necklaces and pins and earrings and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And there's still people today that still have that stuff.
Yeah.
I hope that when they're hanging their ornament on their tree, they're thinking of us and maybe saying a little prayer or something. And,
Yeah.
and it brings back a memory or something. But
Well, like handmade, custom made things, it's never gone away.
No.
And we've had more machinery. And so you could
that's
say
what
that
we're
it means a lot more
advancing
today.
to now, the machinery craft.
Now it's custom and machinery, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's a both
Yeah.
and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still creative, but you do a little of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're doing it together. Before I did all the little crafty things.
But it was a one income
It was a
for a family of 8.
income, and we wanted it that way. We decided that we would rather
Pinch pins.
make it than to have a career that we weren't ever around, or Mom wasn't ever around, or something like that. So yeah, it was paycheck to paycheck forever.
Yeah. I
But-
did start teaching preschool, but that was after Zach was in junior
Zach's the
high.
youngest.
The youngest was in junior high, and he would go to school before I would go to work, and I would get home from work before he would get home from work. So it was still like I was home.
Yeah.
So
But you always found ways too of like, man, this costs money. What's weird is like some of my memory is more of like saying I can't first, and nowadays it's like I've learned to change that. But I don't like blame you or anything. It was just the
Right.
that's how we were all raised, and I blame grandma. No, I'm kidding. No. But what you actually showed was the opposite, and it wasn't until my maturity to realize that. Like, you were my biggest critic, and then it was like, wait, no, she's not. She's actually my biggest fan.
I am your
And
biggest
you
fan.
were
And
like
Rose.
like for singing and everything like that. She'd be like, I remember the first time I tried out for praise team. Oh, I was a mess. I was a mess. How did God call me to do worship ministry? You know, like I don't know. But the first time I started singing on praise team, they gave me the chance. I was off key the whole time. I could not figure it out, and I knew it, but I just kept doing it. And it was terrible. There's no way anybody was like worshiping during that. I don't know.
I
like,
do not remember that.
It was so bad. But I went back, and this is a line that stuck with me is you go, well, did you know you were off? And I said, yeah. Well, at least you knew. So like it was your way of like actually being constructive and real without like being that mom's that's like, oh, I have the best singer. You need to go to American Idol. He's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you get,
I'm my biggest critic too.
but it's like you always meant well through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's people that do that get off on singing and they think they're hot stuff. But if someone is off and they know they're off, then that means they'll be able to
You
fix
can
it.
fix
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I know that God has a purpose for every single person and why they're in their family, but I feel lucky.
So
I don't
do we.
know, like it's just
Yeah.
and being one of 6, like how do you balance the attention that's needed? And I remember another time, like another highlight moment. I don't know if you guys forget this, but you tried to make it a thing where every Sunday night you were intentional for family time, that every Sunday night we would, after church, because they had Sunday night church back then,
Yeah.
and they would move to, we would go watch like something on PAX or something. We would have like a TV night, a TV day. And looking back, I think this is a way that you didn't have to cook.
Yeah, I didn't like to cook. We kept it easy on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
Snacks or
Yeah,
something.
so we did snacks, and then you're like, we're going to go back and watch, but we're going to pick out a movie, and we're going to, every week it'll change, and we'll go to Gerb's. I think it was Gerb's.
Yeah, there's
Probably.
Gerbs.
Or Dylan's. I don't
Or
know which.
it was
We
Gerb's or
also-
Dylan's.
We also went to Blockbuster a lot for movies.
Dude,
yeah, we did,
okay.
yes.
We got to hit that right after I
Yeah.
finish this. Is we would go in, and the first time you're like, all right, we're going to start with Jared. I don't remember what I picked. I think I picked a 5-layer bean dip thing
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah. But and then Mountain Dew. Like I always love Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
But I picked the snack, and then we go and watch the film. And I remember there was one where guys, like it was like a miracle show, and the guy got run over, and there was like tire marks on his head or something. And then
I don't remember that.
yeah, see, you don't remember, but this is my perception. And then he was like miraculously healed or made it through or whatever. And so it was always one of those positive and uplifting
Yeah.
movies or shows. And
Well,
so
back-
you make more.
It wasn't Doc, was it?
No.
I don't know.
No, I
what
think
it
it was
not a
like
movie.
something miracles.
Okay, that was a series.
It was like
Oh, yeah.
mystery.
Familiar. Oh,
Like mystery-
Mysterious
Oh.
Ways?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mysterious Ways.
That's
I
it.
loved that show.
That
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
last very long.
Yeah.
But
It was a good show, though.
But that's what I remember.
That's what
Yeah.
it was.
But of course, the nostalgia, now you bring that up of Blockbuster.
yeah. But you know, they also used to have back in Disney's really good days, they had every Sunday night was a Disney movie too on. It was Wonderful
Yeah.
World of Disney, and most of the
We
time we'd
also
watch
did
those
the-
movies.
We also
Yeah.
did those. This may be even be. I know for sure with Jonathan and Jess, but we'd watch the animal. What was that? You'd watch the animals. It wasn't Mutual of Omaha, was it?
Yeah, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
something like
I don't
that.
remember that.
Yeah, that was way back, so you might not have.
I remember there were a lot more like TV movies
Yeah.
we'd watch and
There were.
things like that. And you couldn't miss it. So you were always on the timer because
Yeah.
nothing was on demand.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's on.
no on
Or-
demand.
Yeah.
We used to make up games and like it was commercials. Let's
pause
run around the
back
TV.
then.
Let's run around the dining room table 10 times.
Yeah.
And then someone would be like, it's back on.
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm saying all that, and we can get into more of your side of things. But there's a thread to go through all of that, and we're gonna hit that. So stay tuned if you feel like this is all random. But there's a thread that goes through all of this seeming randomness. I can't even talk right now, and I'm on a podcast. Ugh. So that's me, and then growing up. And some people have heard that story and the impact, and you always raised me to be a godly person. And of course, thank you for that. But now it's like, I don't know. I kind of want to, this is kind of a legacy video too. Like it'll be around longer than we're around. So what was your real perspective on the struggle? Like you said, paycheck to paycheck, you're doing side hustles. What did you protect us from that we didn't really know?
well, I think mostly it was just protecting you from not having a parent around. I mean, I know I worked a lot, but Mom was always around to do things with and for you guys all the time. So we thought that was a very important way to raise kids, would be to have a parent around. So that's the main reason I took on the big responsibility of paycheck to paycheck, doing a lot of side work all through the years. It was like 2 jobs basically.
Yeah.
But I feel like God blessed us through all that, and
We had our really bad times
Yeah,
where we
there were
didn't
some-
have many.
there were
and
some tough ones.
We didn't have groceries, and
Can you like pinpoint one specifically that maybe I can remember?
Well, I don't know if you'd remember it or not. We were living in the house on Taylor Street,
Oh yeah.
and
Taylor's on
we
Taylor
were
Street.
literally. I'd quit my job because I thought that was a good idea because of doing some other things, and it was 2 years later after that, and we were in a pretty rough patch there. I wasn't making any money. I was
Really
trying to do
bad
some real
winter.
estate. It was a bad winter.
Was that your Reese and Nichols time?
That was my Reese and Nichols time.
I didn't remember that.
But it wasn't Reese and Nichols at the time. It was it was only J.D. Reese.
Oh yeah.
So they hadn't merged yet. And I was new at it. And, one of the things, if you're going to do real estate, make sure someone has an income in your family, especially starting out. And, but I didn't. And the real estate office wanted you to work full-time real estate. They didn't want you to do anything else. But I actually was doing okay with everyone, so they allowed me to work part-time. So I would do some side stuff. That's kind of what kept us going. Do a little bit of remodeling here and there. But it was December, and we were 2 months late on our van payment. It was about to get repoed, and we just didn't have any money. And I don't remember, someone stopped by the house with
and handed us an envelope. Is that
yeah.
what you're talking about? That
Yeah.
one? Yeah. And they said an angel said to give this to you.
It was a kid in the neighborhood that gave it to us. It wasn't the actual
Yeah,
person.
it was a kid. And then when we opened it up, it was some money that was very needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
How much was it?
Do you
It
remember?
was $100, I thought.
think.
Which back then, now it's like, well, $100,
No, but we
I
could
won't
get some
even put gas in my.
groceries and
But back
different
then,
things with that.
$100 was a big deal. I was trying to come up with, a job and things like that. We're looking for some stuff, and I'd had 6 or 7 years working for the school district in Lee Summit as a custodian, and that's the job I quit to do my own thing. And she's like, "Well, won't you ask for your job back at Lee Summit?" And I'm like, "It's
We
been
also had to go stay with Mom and
'cause our
Dad
pipe
because
froze.
our pipes were frozen because it was
That's-
so cold and they
Yeah, so we weren't even at the house. The pipes were frozen. We was at her parents'. And on the way home that one evening back to Pleasant Hill, we were having the conversation, and she's like, "Why don't you call the school district and see if you can get your old job back?" And I said, "Because it doesn't work that way at the school district. It's totally different. I would never get my old job back because I had a day position there that everybody wanted, and they're very hard to get. And even if they did hire me, I would be on evenings and I would never see the kids." I said, I'm not going to do it. It won't work that way. I said, if they wanted me back, they'd have to call me anyway. I'm not calling them. And this is a true story. We were 1 mile from home, and when we were having this conversation, and we pulled in the driveway, went in the house, and back then we had these little boxes by the phone called an answering machine.
Yeah.
No one had cell phones, so it was just an answering machine. The red light was blinking on it. So what we would normally do is just hit it while we were carrying stuff in, and we hit it, and it was my old boss at the school district calling, asking me if I wanted my old job back.
Oh. It wasn't even you prompting it or anything.
Nothing.
It was.
No one
It
even
was a
knew we
God
had this
moment.
conversation. I hadn't mentioned to anyone I'd like to have a job back or anything. And he just said, "Dave, this is Wade, your old boss, and your old position at the school is coming open, and we just thought maybe you might want to come back."
And that time was like 2 months?
I'd been gone 2 years.
Oh, this is 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd been gone 2 years. So
Wow. Okay.
it was pretty unusual. So anyway,
Some people wonder if they're even remembered.
yeah.
Right.
And they're like,
I
no, we
know.
got to get him back.
Yeah. So they asked me to come back. And when I called him the next day, he said, "Well, it's not a done deal. You got to go through the interview." And I remember thinking, "Oh, yeah, whatever." Because there's no way this wasn't a God thing.
Yeah.
There's no way it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I called the car loan company, which was Ford Credit, and I said, "Hey, I'm getting my old job back." I hadn't even gone through the interview again. And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, fine. We'll just tack your old payments on the end of your note, and you're good to go." Okay, so we didn't lose our van.
Back then, banks and things would do that for you.
Yeah, well, just things like that got us through. We had a financial advisor come to our house and go through our finances one time. This was after we were in the house we're in now. And after he went through everything, he literally said, after he's looking at our stuff, and then he looks at me and goes, "This is impossible." I'm like, "What is?" And he goes, you can't survive on this." And I said, "Well, if you look around, we are."
Yeah, we're doing it.
So, God's been through the whole thing of our lives, raising kids. And yeah, there were a lot of definite no's. We're not doing this. You're not getting this, or we can't. And it was mostly financial driven, so, but man, a lot of blessings back then that we didn't realize at the time were blessings, even, but just a lot of things like that God just always provided for us, and it's cool to look back on now.
Yeah. Like real quick, Mom, what was like your side through all that? Because you were the one that was staying home, not necessarily jobless. You can't say jobless.
No.
Because it was a job.
Yes.
And it paid off.
Yeah.
It paid off.
It paid off. I got 6
You-
great kids that love the Lord.
Yep. And she's my favorite mom. So
And you're her favorite third kid.
My first perspective is when he wanted to quit his steady job and go into real estate. And I think you did in handyman work.
Well, I was doing my own business
Yeah.
at that time.
Okay, and then you went into real estate.
Yeah, that was a year and a half later.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily on board for it, but I still support him.
yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, what are you doing?
And you had to have like probably, you could say, more faith.
Yeah. I mean, we had some bad moments, but God always blessed and took care of us, and he always provided what we needed. So
Somehow, for some reason.
That's what I've learned, and that's what I've gone through as well. So we'll put a thread through that just in a little bit. Stay tuned again. It's like an ad, but I want to pivot just and move into a section for all those marketers and branders out there. You two have a business again. So but this one is the one that's the passion. At least it's seemingly for me, it feels more fitting for both of you to be doing something that you both enjoy doing,
Right.
and you bring both of your different areas of expertise into it, and that's like woodworking and crafts, combining those, and you have, is it Tailored Creations, right?
Tailored Creations.
So he brought back the name, pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the website?
tailoredcreations.us.
Okay. And
No apostrophe.
No apostrophe. Just D.
TAYLORD creations.us.
Yeah.
Because there's no apostrophe. And no.
Yeah,
But yours
I was trying to.
doesn't work like his does.
There's more than meets the apostrophe.
There's more than meets the apostrophe. Yeah. Well, so you've been doing that, but then also, and I don't think it was related, right? Your YouTube channel,
It wasn't
Oh,
related.
yeah.
but now it kind of is, right?
Not yet.
Not
no.
yet, but it's going to be.
Maybe I might do a different channel because the channel that I've done is more, I don't know, it's different than what I'm doing now. So I don't know whether to transition that one to what we're doing or create another channel to go with what we're doing and keep doing what I was doing on this other channel.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
if we
don't
had
know
time,
what's
we could
best.
decide that live in the podcast.
Yeah.
I could help you. But
Yeah.
at the same time, though, so Mom,
What?
what was your reaction to when Dad got a paycheck from YouTube? Like at all, it doesn't matter what the amount was. It's just the fact that like this is the kind of thing people go, oh, you need to do something more important with your life, you know? But it's kind of like you can't do music. You need to make a living.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
but then YouTube was always that thing of, oh, it's not real. You're never gonna get paid from it or anything like that. And not that you make a living off of it right now,
not
but
even close.
No.
but like you get paid by a
Right.
Google company.
Yes.
So like when you
Right now he's getting paid and he's not really doing anything. He needs to do more, I
Yeah.
guess. But
Yeah.
we were just excited. I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, he was just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
You know,
See, because that media creation side that you have a passion for was a little bit of my passion, not as much as you had.
yeah.
Well, you like
But that's why I started the YouTube channel, because I'm like, I love doing that stuff. And if I can, I mean, I feel like, honestly, that channel has helped some people, and I'm basing that on the comments I get.
yeah.
So I get some really good comments. I think I've had maybe 1 or 2 negative comments the whole time that I've had the channel. Most of them are, oh, thank you for showing me that, or explaining that, or teaching me how to do that, or reviewing that product, or something like that. Now I know I want to get that one, or now I know how to fix this,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So I get a lot of comments like that, and almost every video I do, not quite every one, I have my dog in there. in the video. And I get a lot of comments of, oh, your dog is, I love your dog. What's your dog's name? You know, stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun doing it.
If you want to learn the dog's name, you got to go watch his YouTube.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised he hasn't said his name yet.
yeah,
Don't say it now. They got to watch YouTube.
I can't say it now. I'm not going to say it. But a lot of people ask me about the dog. And so it's been fun to do. And I do enjoy it, but man, I haven't put a video up for several months now.
It's time consuming.
It is time consuming.
Okay, tell me about the time consumption. Well, tell the listeners like how much.
Yeah, so whatever you're doing, it will at least double your time on doing it. Like if you're fixing something, the time you have to take to position your camera, make sure you're getting a good shot, set up before you even do anything. And most of the not everything, because some of them are, I'll buy something that I want for the house. It's not something I get to review, but I want it for us. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll review it, that kind of thing. But on the fix it stuff, it doubles your time to fix it. And there's honestly just times I'm like, I'm getting ready to do something and I'm thinking I need to video this. But then I'm like, nah, I just want to get it done. I got to get it done. So I just do it. I don't have time to set up and everything. So it's hard in that regard because there's a lot of things that I've skipped video and that I wish I would have, but I just had to get it done. And so it does multiply your time. And then you have to sit down and edit. So you got to edit it. You got to post it. You got to get the thumbnail. You got to, so there's a lot of time involved. It's not, I don't know. It's still fun, but it's time consuming and it's not a cakewalk. I won't say, a lot of people say, oh, it's really hard work doing YouTube. Well, it is, but it's not hard physically, obviously.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
But it's time consuming more than it's hard.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part, I guess, is the time. And you just got to take the time to do it. Or you have to, which I haven't done yet, figured out a way to do the thing in one shot while the camera's rolling. And I thought of some ideas because I've seen some other people do it where I just video it and then I narrate it. So I may go to that aspect of it instead of because when I do it, I try to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But if I just do it and then go back later and narrate it, it might be easier.
And
I
that's
don't know.
That
it
style
is in. There's
in.
a lot of people doing that now. And I actually have enjoyed watching those kind of videos.
And those kind of videos are
I've been on him a few times. He's videoing. I don't even know it.
Yeah.
I was walked in on a real podcast once too.
Yeah.
It's like, we need that on-air sign. There's on-air signs everywhere except for in this room. The YouTube, and that's pretty cool. I definitely get that side from Dad, and you showed me all of that. What's funny is like how we all get a piece of you from him. Because there's ways that I can't relate to you that you can relate to Zach or to Andrew or to Caleb, and now I got to list all of them, Jonathan and Jessica.
Yeah. I've thought of that often, that there's little pieces of us in each one, and it's just a little bit different. And there's a lot of you guys are living out my passions when I was growing up and through the young adult years. The passions I had, you guys are actually living out. So that's good.
Yeah. So there's one thing, I'm wondering if I don't know whose it's from, but I'm an idea person. Always full of ideas. And I could relate this to this, even though they're seemingly unrelated. You give me a challenge, I can do it. But does that come from you? Who does that come from?
I think we both have ideas,
But you always ran Sunday schools and things like that too.
Yeah.
So and then you would do crafts.
I have creativity.
Graphic design. I don't know.
But I have my opinions too. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think I get the joke.
I shouldn't have said right on that.
Definitely get the jokes from Dad, but the talkativeness or whatever, Dad's more introverted. You're really good with people though. Yeah. It's not like you're antisocial. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Actually, even at family things, he'll just go retreat.
Yeah.
We're all here for family,
I
but
do
then where's
retreat.
Dad?
If it gets
Where's Dad?
If it gets too noisy,
It's
he
too loud.
goes to
It
the
does something
porch
to my
or
brain, so I have to
somewhere.
go. I have to escape.
Yeah. But you never complain. Like you could easily
No,
go,
I just-
it's darn too loud in here. And then you leave and storm off. Like you never
He stomped
complain.
on the floor a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, that was different. But yeah. Yeah, I'll just wander off.
But growing up with 5 other siblings, I became an extrovert. I'm really an ambivert where I'm both. And then Rose pushed me over to be a stronger extrovert and church life and church leadership. You kind of have to. And it's pushed me into how to talk to people better. And but I was always recharged by being around people because of the noise that was always so constant and being around so many brothers and one sister. So that, like, there was one time at a camp I couldn't sleep. It was too quiet. So I actually went in a room where everyone's goofing off and being loud, and I fell right asleep.
That's funny.
So I was like, I need that storm
Yeah.
that Jesus slept in. Like, so it was interesting, but my thoughts were all internal, and that's another part of being introvert or extrovert. But being around Rose, now it rubbed off on me. I think out loud a lot more now, and sometimes I probably crossed a line where maybe I shouldn't have thought out loud for that.
You probably got that from me because I can.
But
Just
from you too,
think it
yeah.
out.
But I didn't talk a lot either, though. I don't know. At school and stuff, I was the quiet kid. Everyone thought I was smart because I was quiet. My joke's on them. I got B's.
I remember getting an email from one of your teachers.
What was
and
that?
She said that you're a good student and you are a quiet leader.
Now I'm a loud leader. No, I'm just kidding. I prefer 2 leader. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just trying to see and tell you about that. I don't know if you've thought of that. I think of this all the time. I'm like, man, when can I sit down and just tell them all this stuff? So it's good to put it on air because then it's real, right?
Yeah.
No, but you guys always did like the craft shows. You were always hustling to get things done, and that's real cool. And now that's what you're doing for your business. So describe that just a little bit of like what you do.
Well, so I've always been into woodworking, doing things with wood. Mom has always been into crafty things,
Very
She's
crafty.
always working on crafts, doing things, even when it's for nothing or just a gift for someone or something for her house or something. She's always doing crafts. And I don't know, the older I get, the more I think about the possibility of retirement. But I don't want to retire and not do anything. My thought was, and I don't know if this was a good one or not, I guess time will tell. I got to thinking about, I do woodworking, she does crafts. What is something that brings woodworking and crafts together? A laser. So a year and a half ago or so, I bought a laser.
Okay, so I get A and B connecting from Dad.
Yeah, probably. So I thought that would be cool because then we could
You get
do
a lot from your dad.
Yeah, we could do something together rather than me just out doing stuff and her being bored watching Hallmark movies. So we got the laser and we've slowly started working our way up because it's still a few years for me to retire. But I want to start eventually, hopefully within the next several months, making a little bit of income from it, possibly. It would be nice. So that was the thought behind it, was starting this business called Tailored Creations. Took forever to think of a name, and then I thought Tailored Creations, we were talking about it, and I said, that would be good. I've never heard of it. And then I get on and search it, and there's thousands of Tailored Creations. I'm like,
Everything we came up with.
we come up with, someone's already thought of.
Yeah.
But there was none in Missouri, so we formed an LLC, and we have Tailored Creations. And we just kind of did a little bit. We still haven't profited from it because of buying everything, but we've actually – I'm going to use the term made a little bit of money, although it's not profit for the business. You know how that works.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how that works. But we've actually made a little bit of traction and starting to get people to see us and figuring out ways. One of the things that I was always bad at, always, and still am, is marketing. And because I've started quite a few businesses in the past,
Lots.
but I don't know how to market it. So they would just fail and I would quit.
You didn't realize how many businesses he started.
Well, I'm starting to.
Yeah. I was terrible at marketing. And so nothing ever really gained traction. And because I was just a doer, I'm not a marketer. Like a couple of my businesses were like handyman type services, fixing stuff at houses for people.
Home inspections, didn't you do that?
Yeah.
too?
I did
You
home,
did
and now that one was actually starting to get some traction, and that probably would have worked. But what happened there was my knee issues,
Oh,
because I was the kind of home inspector that crawled into attics and crawl spaces and got back in attics and found stuff.
and you're 6'3", right? You're 6'2"?
Yeah, but that wasn't even
No,
the
he's
point. I
6'3".
still did it.
Yeah.
And there was one time that I crawled into an attic and my knees kind of locked up. I had arthritis really bad. So my knees, they weren't working for me, and I didn't think I was going to get out of the attic.
Oh.
So at that point, I'm like, so I either do junk inspections by not going in the attic or I don't do them, one or the other. I don't want to do junk.
Do it right.
I don't want to do junk
Yeah.
inspections. So that one actually probably would have continued. So that was for a different reason, but most of them I just didn't market well, and so I never gained anything on them. This one feels a little bit different because I'm trying to scale slow. I don't want to scale fast. Most businesses want to scale fast.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to scale really slow. So I'm doing a little bit at a time. And I've actually had a few sales from people I don't know, or that there was no connection. Not very many, but a few. So that was kind of cool just to see that happen, because it makes you know that it can happen. Before, it's just who are you connected to that might know someone, which is good.
Yeah.
That's a good way to build a business. But so, I know social media is a big part of it nowadays. And one of the ways I got some of those sales was through Facebook ads.
Oh,
So
I didn't realize you ran ads.
I did. I
did a
one
couple of
time.
times, I think.
One time.
And it worked
Yeah.
and you stopped?
I did. But again, there's a reason I stopped.
Okay.
For now.
Yeah.
We're busy.
It's just because
Still
I
works a
didn't.
full-time job.
It's like, oops, it works. Turn it off. Turn it
back
off.
So, because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, how busy do I want to get right at this moment? I can only do so much.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's hats. As much as I like woodworking, one of my favorite things to make is hats.
He's wearing one right
So
now.
I'm wearing one right now.
Got to watch on
And,
YouTube if you're listening.
Yeah. So that's what I put the ad out for, was some hats, and some went to North Carolina, some went to Iowa, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool to see that that's a possibility. I just wasn't at the point of where I wanted to keep pushing it yet. I'm going to. I told her after the first of the year, that's kind of going to be a little bit of a push.
Yeah.
And try to get, this is just such a busy time. And we've done a couple craft shows recently, and all your time is put into making products for your craft show. So that's why I kind of backed off of that. I saw it could work. And so now I know it can work, and I'll eventually do that again. But I'm still just not very good at marketing. And there's some tools I'd like to try that I might try after the first of the year.
Yeah. For products, there's cool AI tools.
Yes, some AI tools I've been seeing that I would like to try out, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And just kind of go from there. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. But I'm trying to scale really slow.
I get it.
Yeah.
And because in a lot of ways, you need that character development and you need the system development to be able to roll into it.
Right.
And if you had like 1 million sales, or like something goes viral,
Right.
and you got 1 million, well, you're calling all of us.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
we're gonna have pizza, and we're gonna all get paid to
Everybody's
help
gonna have
you.
to work.
But like that's probably what would have to happen at that point. And
Yeah, it's funny because it's a hopeful thing, but then it's a scary thing too, because I work a full-time job and I like my job. I'm not ready to quit my job, but someday soon, well, maybe not soon, but someday in a few years, I'm going to want to retire from that.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I'll have some things in place that at that point, then I can really start scaling a little bit more even. So
Yeah. We always talk about you got to get scalable first.
Right.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
With our business, you need to have your system. You need to have at least a website, like something. So if you were to make more or get more sales and inquiries from our podcast, can you handle that? Because if you can't, it's going to look really bad on us.
Sure.
And they get really like, nothing's working, and you're like, well, actually you had 2 million views this year. Like, did you collect any of those?
Right.
Like, we're not on the sales side is the struggle for us.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't like track because we're not in charge of them asking,
Right.
how did you hear about us? Or like if they have an IT person and they do those, there's like secret codes and links. It's called like UTM. It's actually not a secret, but they add it onto links so they know where it came from. And they could be like, oh, it came from social media or it came from this. And you have to get real smart with that.
So what you're saying is my thought processes are correct because I try to think of things like the hat. Just take the hats, for instance. I'm like, okay, if I get a hat order, am I ready to put them in a box? Do I have a box? What box do I need? I need to get boxes. I need tape to tape those boxes. How am I going to ship it? I need to make sure I have all that lined out. So I got all my shipping stuff lined out. I got a label printer. I got, to do prepaid labels. I got a scale to weigh everything so that when I'm ready, if someone orders a hat, I'm ready to make it and ship it. And that's kind of in the whole realm of things. That's how I'm trying to think. I don't know that I'll think of everything.
But I would rush to get scalable faster because in like these days, any sort of you have to be on social media.
Right.
But then there's that risk of you could get viral. And, but if that happens, it's supposed to be a good thing.
It's supposed to be.
Right.
So
if you're ready for it.
You need to put a layer there. Like either you make a wait list or something and you're transparent. Hey guys, we're going to get to you when we can. These things take time. And you just create that expectation so not all the pressure's on you. Because if you had overnight 10 million views on something for a hat that 10 million people wanted,
right?
Like what would
that would be horrible.
It would be horrible, but think of the money.
It'd be good, but it'd be horrible.
And then what can money buy?
Right.
It can buy scale.
Right.
So you could go and buy a shop and like get people to make it for you, and then there's your scalability. Right. But if you think of it as only you can do it, then it's going to put all that pressure on you.
Right.
But it's like it's the medium. It's like in between that massive to nothing is what's hard.
Right. Getting to that point.
And usually that's the story.
And there's a lot of scary things too that I've thought of. I thought, well, what if I advertise this hat and then I run out of this particular hat? I can make the patches, but what if I run out of the patch material? It's going to take me a week to get it. Or if I order the hats from my supplier and they're like, oh, we're out of that hat right now. We don't know when we're getting them. So there's always those thoughts that come in my head. I'm like, so I really got to be careful. How much inventory do I purchase up front of everything? I think I need a little bit, but I don't want to go overboard either. So there's just so much thought into that. That's why I'm trying to go a little bit slow with it and get the word out, get some product out. I've given away a lot of stuff. And
you're doing it in person craft style right now is what it looks like.
Well,
right?
mostly,
so
yeah.
Like you'll go to craft shows, do pop-up things.
Right. Well, we've done a couple, but we don't only want to do that. I'd like to most of it be online.
But then too, the mail was taking forever. So he's worried about
shipping's always an issue.
Yeah.
It gets delayed, and even though it's in the mail, it's been shipped, it still looks bad on me. Even though I'm not going to say it was USPS or anything, But
So don't say.
Yeah, I'm not going to. But so it looks, it can look bad on them. It happened this time of year. It's just one of the things.
Yeah.
So you worry about that too, because people email you, how come I haven't got my product yet? Well, it's been in the mail since this date, and they're showing that it's delayed. And
some thought that I have is I want to get involved if I can muster up the time.
Yeah.
And just work with you.
That's what I did.
Do a revenue share or so, I don't know. Like I want to join back in.
Well, join in.
And I'll help with the process or something. Because I'm thinking of like set up like those warehouses where they're the ones that ship it. So like you make it and then just ship it to them and they'll fulfill it. Like Amazon warehouse and other things. And right now that would cost money that you probably don't have.
Right,
but
right. That's the thing.
If you ran the ads too at the same time as doing that, and then they handle the stock.
But then how many of that? And see, that's part of the issue that I have in my thought process. We'll take this hat I got on now. It says Freedom on it. How many Freedom hats do I make to send to the fulfillment place?
Selling out's good though.
Well, I know.
So you hit.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But still, you got to think about what's that level? Do you go overboard? Do you keep it less than that? Do you, that kind of thing, just to kind of, I'm putting money in the business, but how much do I put in it to get to a certain point? I know the more you put in, the more you get out. Most of the time. Not always.
Most of the time, it's just it takes the time to measure that. Yeah. And that's what you got to do, though, is test and measure.
Yeah.
So tested more affordability. If I lost this, would I be okay? So start with like a few hundred.
And that's the thing. That's what I always keep in mind is it okay? I mean, it's never okay. But will I accept the fact that maybe I've lost this money?
I tested an ad once that did really bad.
Yeah.
I was doing hats e-commerce, but it was all drop shipping.
Right.
So I didn't have to, worry about it. They would always fulfill it.
Right.
But I put like $100 of Facebook ads. I was like, how much do I need to put in before I see a sale?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a sale from some random guy. Some random guy out there has this hat that I'm wearing right now. And there's been a couple of in-person sales I've made. Mm-hmm. But then that was it. And I was like, man, I don't like e-commerce. I love it. I want to do marketing for it. And I understand the process and everything. But this isn't the business type that I'm called to do in the scope of work. So I started focusing on other things. And that's where, like, if I can find partnerships with other people that are in that, and we can help their marketing.
Yeah, I want to make the stuff. So I don't want to just take the order and, I mean, I like making money, but at the same time, I like to make the stuff. That's the only reason we don't have to do what we're doing.
So you need to start out, like, not D2C, which is direct to consumer. Start out by going and finding, like, local shops if you haven't already.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they store your stuff.
Right. We've thought of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good.
So
they take portions.
Yeah, we've thought of that as well. We probably won't be to that point until after the first of the year at least.
Because how many hours can you put into this right now? Not a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know. We've been putting more in than we thought.
Than we wanted to in the month of December.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But see, I don't mind because I do this out of the house. So I would rather be in the garage working on stuff than just sitting around, even though I love watching YouTube videos as well. I don't want to sit around for 5 or 6 hours every evening watching YouTube videos. I want to go out in the garage and make it. If I'm in the garage, even though I'm working, I'm still at home. You know what I mean? So it doesn't feel as much like work.
I know what you got to do.
Because I'm at home.
I know what you need to do. I think you're already doing it, actually. What I suggest, as your son, is to move towards high-end things that you do, like higher quality and higher end, but less of the quantity, so you can focus in on that. So if you get 5 sales, it's like those were all $5,000 each.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like you're walking the halls and there's paintings in here and they're like $2,000, $5,000, $6,000 paintings. And art is art and people love art and it's perceived value of what's worth it to you. There's people out there that would buy your, what are you working on, tables or like, what was it? Like,
No,
We've just been
done,
doing crafty things.
like
so.
porch leaners, ornaments.
But we've had the comments
pictures.
that our stuff was higher end.
Oh, yeah.
Or felt higher end because instead of particle wood, we use solid wood, things like that. So my original thought was, I think where you were going was I was talking about making high-end dining tables.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
And those, the profit margin on those are a lot. You sell one or two and you've made a lot of money. They're a lot of work.
Yeah.
But you've made a pretty decent amount of money. I'm kind of backing off on that a little bit, only because 2 reasons. My space is very small. To build big tables, I don't really have – I mean, I could do one, but I would have to completely complete it and ship it or haul it.
For me.
Yeah. The other reason, though, is because I've noticed over the last several years that I don't have the best shoulders – and things hurt. And so I'm thinking about these 4x8 for a large table, solid wood that's 2 inches thick. I got to buck those things around, and they get pretty heavy. And if I'm constantly moving those, I don't know what that's going to do to me. So I don't want to rely on that. Because the way things are now, who knows how I'll be in 5 years. The stuff we're doing now I can handle easily. And the hats, of course, I can do that out of a wheelchair. So,
Yeah.
So it's like
Well, you have to move the hat press.
I'd have to move that because I couldn't go down the stairs in my wheelchair. But that's why I've kind of come away from that a little. It's not out of the picture completely yet because I'm definitely going to build her one.
Yeah, that's part of your scaling up.
Yeah, and who knows what it'll do after that. And I might find that I can get the right tools, the rolling tables. There's nowhere in my garage to put them, though.
Yeah.
So we'd have to build a detached garage.
What's weird is there's like 3 facets or sides or of these things as business owners and product creators is we usually like to make something and then push the sale, when in reality you'll do much better if you ask or observe what people actually need instead of pushing it. Then it's like, oh, I can make something of that based on this. That's where customizations are cool. But then you leave creativity in the hands of those who are not going to take action. Because if you don't think of it, then how do they know where to go? So now you need like the, hey, come to us for this and kind of marketing. But I don't know. It's like there's so many areas around that. And for us, it started with videos and making whatever for anybody. And then it was like, wait, hold on. I don't enjoy weddings. Therefore, I'm in charge of my business. I don't have to do weddings. And then it's like, okay, what do people actually like? And I was like, oh, people like testimonials. They were starting to bite on that, if you will. And so then we would make testimonials and got good at that. But then we started doing podcasts, and I've always kind of done podcasts throughout with like, we had one, the Curiosity Dudes, with Drew, and that one was fun. But that one was more of like a learning of like how to run a podcast. And then there was like submitting it from the church and all the church stuff and learning all of it through there. But then I realized, man, if you create clips for these podcasts, it does so much for social media. And then we started rolling in more into video podcasting. And I got my first podcast-only client. Like I started one with my business coach, and we were partnership through one. But it's different when you get paid to solely do that. And so when we did that, it was like, wow, they're getting so much. Now I'm jealous. I need to start one of my own and everything like that. And we started getting more clients and more. And then now it's the thing that like if someone gets a coach, it's like on their list. It's like, you need to start a podcast for marketing and like things like that. But it's not about just having a podcast. It's about being on YouTube and then getting social media clips so you stay top of mind and everything. And so that's when I found out there's a scope of work I enjoy doing and there's a scope of work that people need and they want. Sometimes you got to get people in with the thing they want just so you can show them the thing they need. So sometimes it's like our marketing's like attract your ideal clients through the power of video podcasts, or like, what if you didn't have to go on the hunt for your next client? It's like when you show yourself on video, it becomes like an attraction to people because you're top of mind. Just like commercials on McDonald's and stuff. Like if you've had an experience and then you see a commercial, now it's like, oh, I want to go back. Or maybe it's I don't want to go back. But it becomes that attraction model for people to think of you before you even run an ad or before you have to go out there and go down a huge call list and everything. So I started relating through that. And then that was the thing they want. But the means and what they really needed was a marketing play for social media. And this was the best way to get there. That was my whole like roundabout way of finding that. And that's hard in business, is just find out what people actually want.
Yep.
But it's a common reason why a lot of businesses fail. It's like, I was good at real estate, therefore everyone should do it.
Yeah.
It's, well,
Right.
I don't know.
Everyone is doing it.
Yeah.
And I did learn though in real estate, it's like a lot of people say they're in real estate, but it's various different things. Like, doesn't mean you're an agent. You could be just an investor, like a rental property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for being on the podcast. There's a lot of other things like we could have hit on that I would love to. Sounds like we might have to come back. I think we should overwhelm my dad, and everyone should go raid their channel and go make a bunch of orders, and then I'll show us all having pizza and being overwhelmed by orders, and then.
Well, unfortunately, right now the only thing on my website is some Christmas ornaments and hats.
Well, get some
He
hats.
was
Everyone
trying
order a
to
hat.
keep it easy right now.
Yeah, well, it's just I got to make more things to get on there, or come up with some ideas or things like that. So I got several different styles of hats though, and I can do custom as well.
Well, there we go. Let's go overwhelm them and then see the story and see what happens, and just expect it to be maybe a month behind.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah. We got to wait on you.
I'm betting I'm going over.
yeah,
So awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Without you, we wouldn't be here at all.
Yeah.
So you guys wouldn't even have this podcast. If you like it, hit subscribe. But we wouldn't have this podcast.
just think if I didn't like movies when I was a kid, we probably wouldn't be here right now.
That's true. It goes all the way back to that.
It goes all the way back to that.
To conclude, that thread to go through all of this was a perspective change that I had was, you could say we grew up poor, but I actually refuse to say that now because we were just broke.
Yeah,
We weren't poor.
right.
And we were actually rich.
We were rich.
And we were rich in the things that actually matter in life. And I caught that. So, good job. You did it. Thank you for putting that into me and showing me that family is more important than, or family is the reason why you even work.
Yeah,
Like, how do we have like such great time with Dad, even though like half the time he was at work, and then half the time you were asleep on the chair. But we have good memories with you. Like, how in the heck? So you were 100% present in the times that mattered, and you did whatever it took to let Mom be home too, and then you did whatever it took to get us to school and live our life and everything. And so we're rich in faith now. We're rich in family, rich in fun. Like that's my personal core values: faith, family, and fun. Like without those, nothing really matters.
well,
And so,
I always used to say, you guys have everything you need and a whole lot of stuff you want.
Yeah.
So I think we were doing okay.
Oh, and something that we have now that you guys would have appreciated when you were growing up and you wouldn't have had to swallow your spit. Quick Trip.
Quick Trip. We'd stop at Quick Trip. Can we go to Quick Trip, Dad? Can we go to Quick Trip? And then it was always like going out to eat. The first one to say thank you after we'd all be in the car would win. Like we made it a contest. So you taught us gratitude, and now I do that to my kids. Like just those spontaneous things of, oh, let's go to Quick Trip and get a drink. Even though we probably shouldn't. I don't know. But you
Do it
created an
anyway.
experience, and that was, even though, Like that adds up.
Do it anyway.
That adds up.
It
But
does.
you created that experience, and then we had Worlds of Fun season tickets one time.
Yeah.
So
More than
that's
once.
what matters in life, because I'm telling you, I'm 33 and I'm here remembering it right now. I'm probably 34 by the time this airs. I don't know. So
Might be.
it's coming up.
Maybe. I'm glad it wasn't all bad.
But the lesson of this whole podcast, thank you for listening to it, is how to get rich with what actually matters.
It's good.
So make sure and keep doing the reps, keep trying, keep going hard, keep praying, and keep on keeping on.